Our next speaker today is taking the art of deception and applied it to cybersecurity. Shlomo Touboul is a serial cybersecurity entrepreneur and the CEO of Illusive Networks, which has established itself as the market leader in deception technology. And Shlomo will speak about how we can leverage deception in order to flip the inherent asymmetry in cyber warfare today. Please welcome Shlomo Touboul to the stage. Oh, that's you.
Hi. How many of you see me as number 3 on your paper on the agenda today? Raise your hand. Or maybe that was a deception. You see, putting deceptions, meaning putting question mark, putting doubt. And if you think about deceptions and illusions, it was used widely, thousands of years in warfare. Let me take you to the North Africa in the World War II, 1942. On one side, we have the German, the Nazi general, Mr. Rommel, the Desert Fox, Mr. I never lose a battle. On a victorious winning over the border of the sea, heading to Cairo. On the other hand, we have Montgomery, the Spartan general. Some people called him Monty, with the impossible mission, maybe, to stop Rommel from getting into Egypt. So what is Montgomery doing in such an asymmetric situation? He goes and brings talent from the show business. He goes and brings Jasper Misaken, a magician from London, to come and help him. So what Jasper is doing is building tanks from wood, papers, and paint, an army of tanks, and locate them on one side of the front. And then he takes the real tanks of Montgomery, cover them again with wood and papers to look like tracks, and locate them in a different area in the front. Now, when the forces of Rommel attacking the decoy tanks, Montgomery's come from the back, and the rest is history. Rommel was defeated in the second battle in El Alamein, and that's how deceptions have been engaged in that example. Now, each time we face an asymmetric situation, when all the measures have been exhausted, deploying deceptions and illusion is a very critical factor and a huge help. How does it translate into cyber? So in cyber, the asymmetrics means that the attacker, he can do 99 mistakes, one says right, and is the winner. The defender can 99 times be right. He's doing a single mistake, and he lost the battle. Defender has question mark. Attacker doesn't have question mark. Whatever he finds is valid. He can use that to do the lateral movement. One of our customers, global customer, have about 2 billion event notification per month in the SOC. 2 billion. Using behavioral analysis, artificial intelligence, it's reduced to 200,000 per month. And now they need human eye to go over 200 events every month to produce about 200 real attacks every single month. Think about the numbers. 2 billion to 200. How many question marks the defender have? How much it costs them? So if you would like to deploy deceptions in cyber, so first they need to be non-fingerprintable. So when the attacker is moving from one machine to another machine, he can't tell if the next machine is real or not. It needs to be diverse. As he moves to the next machine, it cannot look exactly the same. Otherwise, he will see the deceptions. And it needs to be dynamic. From its nature, our network is keep changing all the time. We need to reflect these changes on the deceptions. Back at home, I have in my backyard, I have a pond, a koi fish pond. Nearby the pond, I have a big olive tree. There is a big branch of the olive tree above the pond. And every morning, about 10 a.m., there is a fisher-king bird coming into that branch. Think about asymmetric situation. The fish is looking down to the pond, and he can select the victim to serve his next breakfast. So I don't like the situation. It's very expensive, those koi fish. So if I would like to deploy deceptions into the pond, how would that look like? Number one, I need to have fish which is not fingerprintable. Needs to look exactly like a fish. Need to be diverse. If I'm going to take the single fish which look like a fish, but I'm going to duplicate that, we say it's not real. And then need to be dynamic. needs to move all the time. If I do so, probably the kingfisher will be using a bait. This is a picture of what we call attacker view. Every dot here, and trust me, there are 5,000 small dots at the end of the lines, represent a real endpoint at that customer site. Every line connects machine A to machine B, represent an attack vector, allowing the attacker to move from machine A to machine B. If you put all the lines here, you get something that the attacker never gets to see, because this is all different passes of the attacker to start on one machine, to get to a server, to get to a different machine. Why attacker never gets to see that? Because when the attacker lands on our network, he has a straw view. You only see the current machine. You see the connected machine. He may use these tricks to escalate privilege to be able to move to the next machine, and he will keep that process 100 times until we'll find the asset he's running after. There is 10,000 lines here. Each of them in different color represent different attack vectors. And that company deployed deceptions everywhere. So the 5 original machines are the 5,000 blue dots we can see across here. And we added 20,000 orange dots, which are decoys machine. To the 10,000 original attack vectors, we added 240,000 attack vectors, which are decoys. So we have 250,000 attack vectors seen to the attacker as he gets in here. Now think about the poor attacker. His chances with his small straw view to be successful, doing more than 3 moves in a row, if you calculate the math, are near 0. What have we done to the asymmetric here? So before there were question mark only for the defenders, those false positive. Attacker didn't have false positive. Now he is. If he's using a deception, which is the most likely to be using, he's getting detected. First time he need to pay for a mistake. He didn't pay for mistakes until now. Because if he's getting detected, he's getting reported, we obtain real-time forensics and mitigate the attack, which was not the case. To make the solution near perfect, you need one more thing, and that's to deploy all those deceptions without any software. Sounds like magic? Getting back to Jasper Messiah. You want to have all those deceptions with no agent on those machines, because one of the techniques of the attacker is to get his hand on those agents we are running on our machines, reverse engineer it, and work around it. If he doesn't have any agent on those machines, if there is no software he can reverse engineer, like Honeypot, he can detect. He cannot tell which one is real, which one is wrong. He is forced to gamble, and you know in the casino who always win. The house win. Thank you very much.